Suppose you sell the following sizes of Jordans on eBay, these buttes over here, and you want to calculate the mean, median, mode, and range for the sizes that you have. The mean is the same thing as finding the average. You're going to add up all of the sizes and then divide by how many you have, 6. The median is going to be the middle number. You're going to put them in order from smallest to biggest, and then you want to find the one that's right in the middle. The mode is the value that shows up the most, so that one's easy to find. And the range is going to be the biggest number minus the smallest number, and then that's going to tell you how spread out the shoe sizes are. Feel free to pause if you want to jot these definitions down. And then how do you remember these? The mode shows up the most, so you could think Momo. The median is what's in the middle on the highway. That separates traffic going one direction from the other, so think middle. The range, think of a shooting range and how far away you are from something. In math, you're often going to use subtract or minus to find a distance between things. And then the mean, the average, you're on your own on that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and back it up. Feel free to pause again, use a phone, calculator, and try each of these 4 here. Okay, assuming you have, 2-step process for the mean, add them all up, 68, divide by 6, and that's going to get us 11.3. But we don't even sell 11.3. This one's more valuable in terms of sports. Like if these were how many points we got in 6 games, then we averaged 11.3 points per game. The median, line them up smallest to biggest, and this is where you get to decide if you want to be Deadpool or Leonardo the Turtle, because we're going to use our katanas and we're going to slash some numbers here. Slash the smallest, the biggest, the next smallest, the next biggest, and then find the one that's in the middle. Between 11 and 12, 11.5. So that is our median. You can also find it if there's 2 numbers in the middle by averaging them. 11 plus 12, 23 divided by 2. That also gives you 11.5. Okay, the mode shows up the most. You know it. That one's just 13. And then the range, the biggest size 13 minus the smallest 9, and we get 4. So that tells us from the smallest size 9, you could go up 4 sizes to the biggest. And that's it. So on the next board, feel free to pause. Hey man, got a beverage here. And try it with the dude's bowling scores. Okay, assuming you've paused and tried it, the mean, add them all up. We're going to get 813 divided by 5. And 162.6 is his average score. Not bad at all. And what does that tell us? Basically, it's a good prediction of what he would get on the next game. So if he bowled the 6th game, it should be really close to that. Same thing with the median. That also is a prediction. Let's line those up. I'm going to be Leonardo this time. Feel free if you want to be Deadpool. And let's do our slashing. Smallest, biggest, next smallest, next biggest. Beautiful. We just got one number in the middle. That is our median. That is also a prediction for how well the dude would do on the next game. Notice that these are really close in values there. So they agree. The mode, the one that occurred the most, 161. You knew that one. It is possible to get no mode if nothing repeats. So just FYI. And then the range, his best game was 187 minus his worst, 146. Still a good game. And that gets us 41. So that tells us how spread out the games were from the best to the worst. Another way to say that is the range tells us the smaller the range, the more consistency there was. And finally, shout out to the Scantron test. A buddy of mine was taking a German exam in high school, fell asleep pretty early on into it, woke up and was like, "Where's my Scantron?" And we were like, "Andy, it wasn't a Scantron test." Good times. Okay, on your first 3 tests, you got an 85, 72, and 78. If you need an average of an 80, let's highlight that, for a B, what minimum score can you get on your 4th and final test? Feel free if you want to pause and try this one out. Since this one's a multiple choice, we're going to use the values that they give us. Let's add the 3 tests that we got plus a 95. Adding those, we get 330. Dividing that by 4 to get the average, that'll get us an average score of 82.5. But we don't even need that high of an average, right? We're aiming for that 80 on the nose. So let's go ahead and try a different score. Let's try D, 85, and see where that gets us. Replacing that with the 95, that'll get us 320. Divide that by 4, and boom, that's it. That gets us an average of an 80. Therefore, we know we need an 85 on that 4th test, and that is the winner Pollo Cena that we're looking for. What if it wasn't a multiple choice? Well, you could add up the 3 scores that you got. That'll give you 235. And if you get an average, it's the same thing as if you got that on all of your tests. So let's pretend we got an 80 on all 4. That would get us up to 320. That's what we know we need to get up to. We only have a 235, so then we'll subtract those, and that'll get us that 85 that we were looking for. Go forward with your katanas and do some work. Toodles.